Good morning and welcome back to Miniature Monday here on Gaming with ADHD, where we are continuing our look at the ongoing Kickstarter for Tom Mason's Frog Knights. Now, last week I received 3 miniatures from Tom to just take a look at, and last Thursday I just put up a video of the bare metal figures as they were. So I spent the weekend putting some paint to the 3 models, and I figured I would show them off so that you can get a little bit better idea of what the models will look like when there's a little bit of contrast in the color. But before we take a look at the figures, do go ahead and make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I try to put out a few different videos each week covering all sorts of tabletop gaming content, and I'd love for you to come along and see what we have to offer. So with that said, let's take a look at what we've got. So the first one is the Tadpoleman. Now, I will admit first off that I am not the world's greatest painter, so please do not fault Tom for my lack of painting skill. But this guy was a lot of fun. He's got a nice look to him. I like how he came out. A little bit simple, but I will put in one criticism. Tom has created some areas that are a little tight to get your paintbrush into. And this is across the board. This is on all of the models that I worked on this weekend. But overall, I still like how he came out. If you are patient and you are careful with how you are painting, getting in underneath the tunic and the pants. Yes, he does have pants on. If you can see, he has blue pants on. But there's lots of little detail. I love the fact that the tail is still there on the Tadpoleman. But overall, I really like this one. So this is the Tadpoleman, and let's take a look at one of the Gallants. All right, so here is one of the Gallant miniatures. Now, as you can tell, he's got a much more dynamic pose than the Tadpoleman, but overall, it's still a lot of fun. I really like the tongue sticking out of his mouth. It still has the issues of tight little areas to get into, but it still opens up pretty well. I like the look of the figure, and it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to try and think of things to say while we're letting him rotate a couple of more times so you can get a good idea. I tried to represent a little bit of, we'll call it the growth of the frog. It's where the Tadpoleman, I kept the helmet, the tarnished steel from Reaper with a little bit of brass on it for the emblem on the forehead. With this guy, I added brass to a couple of other places, and then used red for the gem on his forehead. So overall, I do like how this guy came out, but let's take a look at the Croaker. And finally, we have the Croaker. Now, this model, again, plays off of, or I decided to go along with the, we'll call it the evolution of the model. I just did a red gem on the helmet because there was no little mount piece, I guess I'll call it, underneath. But I like the addition of like the warts and the bumps on his skin. So just use like I think it was a saddle brown. No, it wasn't a saddle brown. I can't. No, stone gray. That's what it was. Vallejo stone gray on top of Army Painter Elf Green, which is what I used for the body on this guy. Overall, I really like how he came out. Because he's so much bigger, not as many problematic tiny spaces to get into, but overall, it's a good looking model. Biggest issue I would have, but this is something you're going to run into on single piece models, is where the handle of the mace comes down. It's essentially molded into the body, and I didn't want to try and drill it out or try and paint it differently. So it looks like a giant steel rod going all the way through, but it's fine for its scale. Much better painters than I will have better ways of compensating. Probably just like a little bit of black, to differentiate it. And I may even go back and do that at this point, but I didn't before I prepped this. So overall, these are 3 of the Frog Knights from Tom Mason. I will have a link in the description to the Kickstarter if you are interested. And on top of that, he does have add-ons for the Gnome Guard and the Goblin Menace as well. So keep that in mind. I've done a little bit of painting on the gnomes and showed one of those off in the shorts, and I'm hoping to have some goblins for later on this week. So regardless, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and as always, subscribe to the channel for more tabletop gaming content. But other than that, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.